the best Social Security calculator out there. I'm telling you, this is just awesome. I think I've used it 2 years ago, but I haven't looked at it since. It's even better than what it was. I forgot who emailed me this, but you are the man, sir, whoever emailed this to me, because it's freaking awesome. All right. So let's go into this. This is on SSA.tools, SSA.tools. And I tell you, you've got to use this. I'll put a link in the show notes. Look, it's free. I don't get paid or anything, just FYI. Anyway, so you click on Understanding Social Security. Just click on Get Started. All right. And then it's going to tell you, you got to go to SSA.gov to retrieve your data. You got to do that anyway. It's stupid not to. And you need to save every single year, download and save a PDF of your record. I don't get why people don't do it. It's nuts. Anyway, so then you're going to get the info, right? It literally just going to cut and paste it. It's literally, I just did this. It's easy. Just do exactly what it says. It'll say work year, tax Social Security earnings, tax Medicare earnings. You cut and paste it and post it right there. It's just that simple. So what I've done is I created this spreadsheet, and I've kind of manipulated mine a little bit so you don't see exactly, but I mean, we're gonna show you exactly. So what I've done is I created that. I kind of rounded around, so some years I had 15,000, I said 16, some years I had 14,000, I said 10, it's just to give you a gauge. All right. Anyway, and then what we did is we just copied and pasted it, and I just took it on an Excel spreadsheet, and I just posted it in here. I said, click, copy and paste, and it says, is this the same table you copied from Social Security? Well, yeah. And then it says, what's your date of birth? I'm going to say mine is 01/01/1970. We're going to hit crack out. Now watch this. All right. This was interesting to me because I said, how are they getting the multiplier? Because I said I was born in 1970, and I challenged this to some degree, but I see where they're going with this. Because if you go to the Social Security webpage, let me show you what I'm talking about, and I'll put a link in there here first for you as well. A person index earnings right here. All right. This is how you get their indexed earnings. When we compute a person's benefit, we use the national average wage indexing to index that person's earnings. We've talked about this a million times. But anyway, wage indexing depends on the year in which that person is first eligible to receive benefits. For retirement, eligibility is at age 62. So a person who reaches 62 in 2021, then 2021 will be his first year's age of eligibility. I hope that makes sense. So basically 2021 is not my first year of eligibility. I reached 62 in 2032, 2032. And this is where it's a little bit confusing, and so that is my first year eligibility. So if we go to 1984, the first year I actually have income, my index amount is 3.47. That's not what they're showing, though. They're showing 3.35. Because basically they're saying they're literally using your index as if your first year eligibility. Oops, I should go 2003 too. Excuse me, right there. 2003 too. So they're saying my index factors is actually 5.78. Because I was born in 1970. My first year of eligibility is 2032 when I turn 62. And that's what Social Security says. They say, look, we've asked for, let's see here. If you don't want to use estimates, hold on a second. We are saying for retirement, eligibility is at age 62. So if a person reaches age 62 in 2021, then 2021 is his first year of eligibility. Well, my first year of eligibility is 2032, and which makes my indexing numbers way different than what they're using. So if we go to 1984, the first year I made income is 5.087, which is my first year which my indexing numbers for the first year I actually had income. But they're showing 3.35, and the reason they're showing 3.35 is because of this. They're saying they're using the current eligibility year, and I just anyway. So look right there, 3.35, which is if I was turning 62 today. It's somewhat of a challenge, but be that as it may, it's still freaking awesome calculator. But I wasn't. I don't know. That's a little bit of a challenge because you're like sitting there thinking, I get what they're doing because in the real Social Security, you got ones. Once you hit 60, they're just going to give you ones for your indexing factor going forward, but there's still, I don't know, it's a challenge. But this is still pretty good because we don't know what your indexing numbers are going to be because you still have, for me, I still got 12 years before my first year of eligibility. Anyway, the closer you are to 62, the more accurate this is going to be. The closer you are to 62, the more accurate any Social Security calculator is going to be. Be it as it may, we're going to use this. All right, so basically what I've done here is I said, okay, I made 156 bucks in 1984 when I was 15. They take my multiplier and they give me 523 bucks as my index earnings because I only have 36 years of record from 1984 to 2019. I have 36 years of earnings record. That is in my top 35. The one right here is not my top 35 because I have 34 years of actually having dollars where I made money and 2 years where I had goose eggs, which inherently means 1 year I will have a goose egg. So check this out. All right, this is, I'm telling you, it's awesome. It at least gives you the intuition how it works with Social Security. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, I'm not working anymore. I'm done. I'm done with the old freaking labor force. I'm done. I'm saying, okay, I've worked enough. I'm done. And again, these are just basic numbers here. I say, okay, so what is my retirement eligibility? So what's going to come down here is they're going to calculate. They're going to say you have a index earnings of $2.343 million. That is your index earnings today, if today was your first year of eligibility this year, which again is just not quite. So anyway, and then what they do is they take 2.343, divide that by 420, so my AIME is 5,580. My first $996 is times by 90%. My next amount of money is times by 32%, and any amount over 6,000 is times by 15. But there is no money over 6,000. So basically, my first $996, I'm going to get $896 from it. My next, the next amount of money, which is essentially 558 minus 996, $4,500 roughly, I'm going to get 32% of that. So my PIA, if I stopped working today, is $2,363. That's the amount I'll get at my full retirement age. And they go down here. They said if you were to take it early, you would get $1,666 a month, $1,663 a month. Excuse me. If you were to take it late, you get $2,930 a month. All right, well, that's fine. But what if I were to work an extra 5 years? So it's okay, that's great. But I'm going to work an extra 5 years. So let's just say I work an extra 5 years, and I'm making good money. So I'm going to make another 100,000. I'm going to make 100 the max salary there. So I'm going to make the max taxable that you can pay for Social Security. What does that do? So I'm going to make $137,000 a year for the next 5 years. What does that do for my benefit? Well, it says, well, you would now have a total averaged total index earnings of $3,008,000, which would increase your AIME to $7,100, which increases your PIA to $2,600. So for me working an extra 5 years at $137,000, I increase my retirement benefit by basically $300 a month once I hit 67. I hope that makes sense. See that? Huh. Interesting. So if you're in a crappy old job, is that worth it? Or maybe check this out. What if you said, well, I'm going to get out of my crappy old job. I'm going to downsize. I'm only going to make $50,000 a year, but doing something I enjoy. But I'm going to do that for another 15 years. All right. Still wait, 15, I'll be 60. Yeah, 15, I'll be 65. So I'm not doing 137,000 for the next 5. I'm going to do 50,000 for the next 15. Now check this out. You can see my top 35, that's gone. The zeros are gone. The amount of money I made in 1999 is gone. I got the amount of money I made in 2018 is gone. So my top 35, because I was making 50,000 a year, I've replaced a good amount of my income from the previous years with this right here. Now these aren't indexed again, so this is why I'm just kind of be it as it may. We're going to go with it. And so what they're going to say is, okay, now you got 15 years of $50,000. We're going to all of a sudden now we have 2.77 million of your total index earnings, which gives you a PIA of $6,600. Interesting, huh? 2.77 PIA of $6,600, which gives you AIME of $6,600, which gives you a PIA at $2,589. So remember that, 2589. What did I have before? 2589. We're going to go, oh, this calculator is freaking awesome. 2589. If I downsize, I said, I can't take the stress of my stupid job, mid-level manager anymore. I'm going to go work at Lowe's and help people out with wood supplies or something like that. All right, so it's 2589. But if I work an extra 5 years at my crappy old job making big bucks, it's 2672. 2589 for 15 at a job I like versus 2672 at a job I don't like. That's not even $100 a month difference, man. That's not even $100 a month. And I don't even think this is right. I mean, it's again, because we're using the wrong multiplier. There's no other way around it. It's using the wrong multiplier. We know that for a fact. So it should be using a different multiplier. And I can actually take, well, pause real quick. I'll go in here, show what I'm talking about. I'll show you what I've done here. If we go back to this right here, and we're going to say I'm not working anymore, right there, I'm stopping right there. All right, so what they have and using their indexing numbers, they're going to have my my total indexed earnings at 2.34 million because they're taking that indexing numbers they have at 3.35, times it by the amount of money I made in 1984. What I've done here is I said, well, actually, I guess, oh, I didn't put the right number in there. Hold on a second. I got to put the different multiplier. Hold on a second. The actual multiplier for my real year of eligibility. I was born in 1970. My first year of eligibility is 2032. The multiplier jumps from 3.35 to 5.008 in 1984, and so on. So then we take my little spreadsheet here, and we can see it changes my total index earnings from 2.343 million to actually 3.556 million. If we take that, divide by 420, that gives me 8,468 as my average indexed monthly earnings, my AIME, which I'm gonna have a significantly higher benefit because my index earnings are different. So if we know the first the first 960. Hold on a second. Let me pause this real quick. Actually, let me just show you what I'm going to do. So we know that there's three bend points, and we go back here. The first bend point, 996, is what it is this year. 996. So we say the first 996. All right. Then we got the next amount is up to, what was it, 6,002. So 6,002. All right. So 6,002 minus 996. So we go to 6,000 and let's go equals 6,002 minus 996 equals that. Okay, let's just do 996 there. And then we're going to do, can I do 996? There we go. And then we're going to do, so we get 848. There we go, equals this minus this minus this. All right. So we got 2,466. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do this equals that times 0.15. This equals that times 0.32. And this equals that times 0.90, because that's the bend points. All right, and then we're going to add these guys up. We're going to sum these guys, boink. And my PIA is actually 2868, which is actually Social Security saying if I were to continue making the income I'm making now, until I'm 67, my PIA would be $3,100. Well, so anyway, these guys are wrong because they're assuming my earliest year of eligibility is 2021. It's just not. But anyway, it still gives you the sense that says, look, man, even if you step down in your job and just don't make that much more, don't make as much as you're making now, you're not going to lose that much on Social Security. Now, it depends on how many years of earnings you have. If you have a lot of years of earnings, whatever you do now isn't going to change that much. It's just not. If you don't have that many years of earnings, whatever you do now can change without question. But look, I already got 36 years. I've already had 34 years are in the books now. So that means there's only one more goose egg for me to replace after 2020 is in the books, which it is now. That last year of a goose egg is gone. Now I got to replace this year. Now I got to replace that year. Now that year. And once I start replacing these, I just get more and more of a benefit, but it becomes incrementally smaller. The law of diminishing returns, we call that in economics. Anyway, I love it. It's a great, great calculator. Not perfect, but it's one of the best I've seen out there. I love it. But the first thing is you got to get on SSA to figure out your own benefit. I'm telling you, you've got to do it. All right, love to hear your thoughts and comments. We'll see you.